Hello, hello, and welcome to Hygiene Elevated Conversations and Innovations. Today we are joined by Melissa Alt. So, Melissa, thank you so much for spending this evening with me.
Oh, thank you. I'm honored.
The pleasure is mine. Melissa,
Mhm.
tell us, we'll start out, we always love hearing stories of hygienists. And I know
Yeah.
everybody thinks, oh, it's boring, or like, oh, I have a weird story. That's what makes it so awesome. So,
True.
what is your journey? How did you become a hygienist? Like, was that your childhood dream, or was that just like the path that you got taken down? So tell me all the things.
Okay, so it was, what was I doing? Oh, I was nannying. I was actually
Oh,
I was a certified postpartum doula.
oh,
So
really?
yeah, so I
Hold
would
on.
go
At what
in.
age were you a doula?
Exactly. I was like 18.
What?
I know. But at least I'm
Um,
certified,
Tell
right?
me. Well, I'm just gonna sip while you tell me this doula story.
So, um, so yeah, pretty much I would go in. The parents would contact, or the mother would contact the company that I worked for, and we would get sent in pretty much right after the baby was born, and just help out with like anything, breastfeeding tips, anything under the sun, pretty much that had to. And I don't have children.
I I was just going to say I want the prequel to this story. Like
Yeah,
what?
yeah. Okay, so let's see. Where was I before that? Um, was I? What was I doing before that? Okay. I was
Telling all the
so
stories.
yeah. So in my senior year of high school, I half of the day I went to a tech school for
Okay.
aesthetics. And I thought that's what I wanted to do. I love doing makeup and all that stuff. So I
And
was hired. Huh?
naturally, the next step is being a doula
Uh,
after
of
esthetician
course.
school.
Makeup, babies, dentistry. So, um,
Yeah.
yeah, so I got a job at a salon, and as a receptionist, and I was doing makeup on the weekends pretty much. And it just, long story short, it was not the environment for me. So I left that kind of abruptly, and needed something, and was a mutual friend told me about this company that she needed. The company was growing, so she needed extra doulas pretty much. So I was like, oh, well, okay, whatever. It was almost like twice the pay that I was getting at the salon. So I was like, okay, whatever.
Qualified.
Yep.
Yes.
Yep. Totally. So I went through the training. Uh, oh my gosh. I remember it was my first job that day, like walking up to their front door is like ingrained in my brain because I was so terrified. I was,
Sure.
I was terrified. I was like, I've never, have I even seen a baby this small? Like, what do I do? But it was fine. Everything was fine. So I pretty much did that for 2.5 years.
So clearly you didn't
And,
hate it.
huh?
Clearly you didn't hate it.
I didn't hate it. It wasn't the worst. There were, so there were a couple families that I worked with for a long time that I I loved, of course. You get super attached to the kids like so quickly. But then, ups and downs.
Sure.
I worked for a family. He was, actually both of them worked for the New Jersey Devils. So I don't know. That was something. It was interesting. um, what else? But okay. So yeah. So while I was nannying, I was looking to, I forget why, but I was like, I'm done with this. I don't want to do this anymore. And kind of out of the blue, a close friend, her sister, who I was more acquaintances with at the time, it was very, like I said, it was very out of the blue.
Mhm.
She texted me and said, hey, I work at this dental office in your hometown, where like 5 minutes from my house. It was the office that I had been going to since I was 6, 7 years old. And she was working as an assistant, and she was like, oh, my husband and I are moving. They need a replacement, and they're willing to just have me train on the job. And I thought of you, and I was like, what? Like, I was like, I don't want to do that. I was like, oh. But I thought to myself, I was like, okay, just keep an open mind. It's something, it fell in your lap. So maybe maybe it's meant to be. I don't know.
Sure.
So I went and I shadowed for the day, and I ended up loving it. And so, yeah, that was kind of, I had wasn't even a job interview. It was just, hey, are
On
you,
the job training, like your
yeah,
body hold the suction and
yeah, yeah, yeah. Like, he was like, do you think you'll be able to like memorize instruments pretty quickly? And I was like, yeah, I don't see why not. It was just like something like that. It was, yeah. So, yeah, that's where it kind of took off. So I did that, and they hired two of us at the same time and cross trained us in reception and assisting. So I did that for, I don't know, 8 years ish before the hygiene bug got into my head. And
Oh, okay.
then, yeah.
Okay. What was it for you? Like, you were in dentistry,
Mm-hmm.
but I mean, you could have chose any aspect of dentistry.
Mm-hmm.
Why hygiene?
Because I'm very independent, and so the idea of just having my own schedule and just working through my own schedule, having my own patients, that was very appealing, because I thought to myself, I'm not going back to school or I hadn't even done any like when I graduated high school, I had no idea what I was doing. I didn't go to college, and so I thought, I don't want to be a doctor. I don't know about that responsibility. I don't think I want that. So, yeah, I initially thought about getting certified as an assistant. And then I thought, well, why not just go the extra mile, why not?
So where did you go to school?
I went to Bergen Community College in Jersey.
Okay.
Yeah.
Are you still in New Jersey?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm super, super, like, Jersey comes to a point and I'm like, we're like right here. So I'm 10 minutes from the New York border and half hour from PA ish. Yeah. So
Just down the
super
road.
north. The pretty part, I say, not the ugly part.
Oh.
Yeah.
I've never been.
Yep.
I've been to Florida
Mm-hmm.
and Georgia, and then 2 weeks ago with Guru Nanda, I was in Ohio, and that's
Yep.
the furthest east I've been.
Really? Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Wow. Yeah.
Yes.
Wait, where are you again?
Utah.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Yep. I got my Western states covered, but yeah, New England, never been.
Everything else. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So you went to hygiene school. What year did you graduate, and what were some of those early years like for you?
Oof. 2018, I graduated.
Oh, you're just a baby. How did I not realize that?
And guess who was my instructor and who I'm now working with? Melissa Obraka.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, fun.
Yeah, I know. And we live like 15 minutes away from each other.
Well, you guys live in tiny states, so just
True. It's true. Yeah, actually, that's true.
Well, isn't everybody 15 minutes away?
Yeah. Sorry if you hear my cat meowing. The door is closed, so naturally he needs to come inside. Oh yeah. So I graduated 2018, and I was a ball of fire, of course, and that fire got extinguished like pretty quickly. My first office, I was a temp job for the summer. The hygienist was away out on maternity leave. And that was my kind of my intro into it. It was 40 minutes per patient. And it just, you know, from that, it wasn't great. Anyway, so the first official office that I was hired in, it was great. I was there for 2 years and just learning and growing and figuring out what was working for me and really not working for me. We just kind of ended up being on different pages. So I left there, went to another office that lasted for 11 months. That was not the office for me. And my third office, I just very recently left officially maybe a couple months ago. And I was there for about 3.5 years.
Okay.
And so now I'm working with Melissa. It's very confusing. There's two, there's two Melissas in the same office. So we're working together, and it's GBT. So I got certified in GBT. So now I'm like, yes, I've reached my goal, or one goal at least.
There's new ones. I reached a new one today. I did my first AMSA injection today.
Oh, I just hit my table. Yay.
Have you done it yet?
I don't think so.
Okay, I will. I hate the nasopalatal so much.
Oh, yeah.
So much. So greater palatal all day long.
Yeah.
But that nasal.
Like easy right there. But that right behind.
Yeah. Oh,
no, yeah.
3 injections. I got the half mouth numb. I was like, yes, why have I not been doing this? So yeah. That was my game changer today. I was like,
yay.
Yes, I can do this. Yeah, I don't know why. Greater palatal, totally fine. Nasal,
yeah, not so much.
So anyway, we all have these goals. The next step in our clinical practice of things we're going to do. So I have never got to use a GBT machine, and I would love it so much.
It's the future. Like I don't know if I could ever go back to. It just feels. It's just like prophy paste. It just feels so archaic now.
I hate prophy paste. Like I'm grateful my assistant does it. And I'm just like,
oh yeah, oh that's awesome. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, you do that.
Yeah. No, I feel like this is like the step. Like when hygienists finally were getting Cavitrons. I mean, some are still not using Cavitrons, but I feel like this is like that next big leap.
Oh yeah.
Because it's not cheap. It's not cheap to implement into practice, and especially if you're talking multiple hygienists or multiple ops.
Yeah.
Woo. Yeah.
So
okay. So tell us more about that. What was that process like for you? Like, did you start working at this office just because of the GBT, or?
Well, I was definitely feeling the same thing as previous offices, just learning more and growing more, just personality wise, even just becoming more mature and just being more vocal about what I want. And it just felt like, okay, I think this has kind of played itself out. But Melissa had texted me a couple months ago, and she was like, I have an opportunity for you. And I was like, what? So anytime whenever she texts me, I'm always like, okay, I'm all ears. So then that really, again, like lit the fire under me to make a change. And so I'm there, and it's one of us at a time. So there's, we have the one machine. I mean, she has her own machine, but usually it's just one of us there at a time. But
so it's always a Melissa in the office.
Always. Can't get rid of us.
Can't get rid of Melissas.
There's the taller one and the slightly shorter one.
Yeah. And so patients are always like, well, I want to see Melissa. And it's like, you will.
Well, yeah, either way, you will. So so everyone in my life calls me Missy anyway. So I'm like, okay, I'm Missy. And that's Melissa. Missy, Melissa. So that's the differentiation.
Okay.
But yeah, so I mean, of course, getting trained was, you know, it wasn't anything intense, but it just made so much sense, you know, to go forward with it. And I'm hoping to be trained as a trainer going forward. So
Okay.
I'm looking forward to that. But as far as the patients, all the new patients, especially that I've seen and I've talked to them, have you ever had a guided biofilm therapy cleaning, prophy?
Sure.
And yeah. So just
Right.
explaining just explaining the whole process to them, and they're just like, what in the world, you know? And a few patients have been like, aren't you going to polish my teeth? And I was like, oh no, like I explained to you, that's what I did
Done.
first. You know, yeah, it's done. It removed biofilm, plaque, food debris, young calculus. And so then followed up by the Piazon. It's done. So it's so much more comfortable for them. And even just holding the airflow like up to your fingertips or your hand, like you barely feel it.
Yeah.
It's amazing. It's so
No.
amazing. Yeah. I love it.
No, that's exciting.
I love it.
Okay, so we met you, by we I mean me and Joffrey.
Yeah.
Met you in 2013, or not 2013, 2023.
Same thing.
Same thing. At Under One Roof
Mhm.
for evolution. You were in our evolution class. And so how did you get there? Was that your first Under One Roof? How did you hear about it? I'm so curious.
So Bethany Montoya, of course,
Of course.
the one and only.
Human RDH.
She's the best. Yeah.
She is.
She had posted something on Instagram about if you were or had interest in kind of navigating outside of the operatory a little bit, and if you were interested in writing specifically, to just contact her. So I just DM'd her, and it kind of went from there. She helped me tremendously get my foot in the door, and she was the one that told me about Under One Roof and evolution. And once she explained really what evolution was, that it was kind of specifically for transitioning a little bit more outside of the operatory, I was like, sign me up, please, because I was just I get bored so easily. And I was so bored. I was so bored. Oh my
And this
gosh.
is before your GBT.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. 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 I only started at this new office, the GBT office, Mayish. Yeah. So, yeah. So I like writing. I've always enjoyed writing. And I just, like I said, I was so bored because it was just prophy, like, you know, carrier maintenance, throwing a couple SRPs, you know, I was so bored. So I was so excited. I was so excited to go. I'm so thankful that Bethany posted that, and I reached out, and yeah, just,
So when was your first publication and for who?
oh my gosh. It was for Dentistry IQ 2022. No, I think it was 2022, actually.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Yeah. So recently, fairly recently. So yeah, and just a few more, just a couple more after that. One for RDH Mag, the online. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay. So what would you say? Because there's some people, some listeners that we have who have never gone to an Under One Roof, which is tragic because that is where all the hygienists should be.
Yeah.
But specifically for the evolution portion, which is like 3 days before Under One Roof, what was that experience like for you? And kind of what was that difference that you felt it directly, not just like while you were there, but even just like the year after or the months after, because it's
Oh,
not necessarily just about those 3 days, but just
right.
the timeline afterwards.
Mm-hmm. Oh man, I I don't even know how to, I'm so grateful. I'm so unbelievably grateful for those, at least the initial, the initial 3 days during evolution, because
Yeah.
Just in the few months after Nashville, things just started. The networking, the people you meet, I guess my career advanced so much more by like leaps and bounds just in the couple months after that first evolution and under one roof, just in different opportunities. Nothing crazy, nothing, life change. Actually, no,
Well,
it was life changing. Actually,
right.
let me back up. Yeah, it definitely was, because it gave me hope and something to look forward to and other things to work towards. So I wouldn't just be, banging my head against the wall.
Bored.
I'm
It
bored.
really, I think I totally get where you're coming from with like evolution really does kind of open your perspective to all the possibilities.
Oh yeah.
And I think even because I went and I was just like, I have no idea. Like, I don't have it together. Like, there's people in this room that are speaking, like, that are writing. And I'm like, I'm just here for free scrubs. Like,
So
I don't know what I'm
So
doing. I don't know my thing.
that was your first evolution too last year?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
that was my first evolution. Joffrey and I had gone to Under One Roof the year before.
Okay.
We had met in like March and decided that, hey, we're gonna go. So we did like a red eye flight to Florida together, and then
Awesome.
like went to Under One Roof, and just like our eyes were open to just the Under One Roof portion. And she knew the Diamond Dental coaches, and so she got to like connect with them. And they were like, they had gone to evolution, and they were just like raving about it. And like, I'm just spending so much money right now is all I can think of. Right.
Yeah.
Because it's so like I don't say out of character, but it's just not what you're used to. You're just like, I just want the free stuff.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
That was at least my perspective. I don't want, like, this is a lot of money. Like, staying at the Gaylord's not cheap. And like flying to Florida from Utah was not cheap. But oh my gosh, all the things that have changed and the opportunities that have come forth, every penny spent has been worth it.
Yep.
1,000% worth it.
1,000%. Yeah.
Yeah.
Totally.
I guess it's true what they say, investing in yourself, investing in your career.
It's just that initial, like,
it's hard to spend that money.
Yeah.
It is so hard.
But yeah.
Have I made it back?
That exactly. That's why. Yeah. That's why. It's, oh man, it's so great.
Yes.
So
no,
great.
I couldn't agree more. So what are other projects, other things that kind of opened up? Like obviously networking. But yeah, networking for me, of course, has been like a game changer. But what for you was the big game changer?
I think going back to what you said, I'm here. I don't know, like half this room is in the middle of their doctorate or their master's degree, and I'm like, what? Like,
I'm just happy to be here.
I'm just a baby. What am I doing? Like, I'm just part of the pro female. I'm not doing anything special,
Right.
So getting over that hurdle, I think, was, and that's internal, but but everybody just seemed like on the same page, and just everyone was so
helpful and encouraging.
Oh my gosh. So
not threatening. And Joffrey and I talk about this all the time. Like when you are like, it's a pyramid, right?
Yeah.
Down here's all the hygienists that are clinical, and this is where the drama happens.
Yeah. Yeah.
As you move up that pyramid, that's where like the professionals are, and everybody is so encouraging and wants the best for you.
Yeah. There's room for everybody.
For everybody, but that has been my experience with everything that I've had so far is encouragement
Yeah.
and looking to elevate
Yeah.
so much.
Yeah. And putting your networking putting your name out there
Mhm.
to help you further your career.
Exactly.
So the networking was so terrifying to me. I
Yeah.
From last year compared to this year I was like, I ordered so many business cards. I was just going up to people. I was like, you get a business card. You get
Right?
it.
Right. Come on, here's my business cards.
Everyone gets a business card. Just like, it's very unlike, I think I changed so much just from last year to this year. Last year,
Agreed.
I was just terrified to walk up to anyone and just, hi, I'm no one, but here's my business card. I like writing. But then this year, it was such a game changer. Such a game. So at first I didn't really understand the point of networking because I thought my computer went my screen went black.
Oh gosh.
Um,
Because it's not friend making. I'm with you on that one. It was
mhm.
so hard. It's like, I don't want to make friends, but it's a
Right.
totally different mindset.
Yeah.
It's not
Yeah.
friend making. It's how can we make a connection to help each other out?
Right.
Which
Exactly.
is kind of like friend making, but not. You already have a common goal.
Business. Yeah.
But
Yeah.
business.
Exactly. And I guess it's just seeing what came of it last year. This year was just totally different. And I was just like, okay, let's
do this.
Let's do this thing.
Yep.
And even just that brief conversation when you walk up to somebody, especially if it's somebody that you follow on social media and you're inspired by, it could be very intimidating walking up to them, but we're all in the same boat. We've all been in the same boat. So just getting over that hurdle of just walking up to people and introducing yourself it's so worth it.
I think the level of professional confidence that you have after going through evolution and learning and like doing those hard, awkward moments, like it does change your perspective that you're like, they're not rejecting me.
Yeah.
As a person, like we're here to talk. We're clearly here for the same thing. Mm-hmm. So let's talk and see how we can help each other.
Yeah.
So it really is such a mind shift.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It's amazing. And I had some awkward, encounter, because like I didn't know what I was doing.
Sure.
There's like a couple times I was with somebody that I knew. Someone else that I didn't know came up and they were talking and I was like, oh, I'm going to go. I have to go, but here's my business card, and like go to turn around. And I remember, I can't remember her name, but they were like, where are you going? So just hand me your business card and walk away. And I was like, okay.
You out.
So I learned my lesson. So yeah, I mean, that's going to happen. Awkward moments happen all the time.
Yeah.
I'm an awkward person anyway. So
just embrace it. So what other projects do you have going on right now?
So I started my company a couple months ago. The Department of Dental Hygiene.
Yeah.
And it was something that's been on my mind for a long time because I love it's just been such a creative outlet for me. And it's combining dentistry and, creativity and art, design, whatever you want to call it. So, there's apparel, and I'm doing a little bit more like in-optic decor, and I'm trying to come out with more useful, like I have I made a little Post-it pad kind of with like the Malin patty, their occlusion, blood pressure, heart rate, just so you can scribble it down all real quick. Just circle the occlusion, circle the plaque, calculus, all that stuff. Just so because a lot of people write their notes at the end of the day. So if you do, I can't do that, even if even if I have that in front of me, I need to get
I'm
my
like
notes done. Yeah.
guilty. I
It's
hate
just me.
toxic
If I
trait. It is.
yeah. It's so hard for me to remember any, like, it's just like
Yeah.
in my brain and then it's gone. So if I don't, I have to just get it done. So it's just some helpful, like, inoperatory stuff like that. So I'm trying to.
I appreciate useful things. Like, I'm very utilitarian. Like,
Yeah.
I don't want things just for beauty. I'm like, you
Yeah.
need to serve a purpose.
Yeah.
You're going to
Yeah.
be in my life. Like, you're pretty, but what are you going to do? Because I don't
What
want
do
to
you,
just dust you.
yeah.
I
Oh
don't like
gosh.
dusting
Yeah.
pretty things.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No, that's true. um, so yeah, that's been fun. I'm still trying to just come up with new ideas and other useful things for, I don't know, for in the op to make things efficient. That's my other thing. I'm
Yes.
huge on efficiency. If it's not, yeah, efficiency is like, I mean, we have to be efficient.
Yeah.
We have an
to be
hour.
efficient.
Yeah, we have an hour and a half to get things done. It's
And get a doctor in to do an exam.
Yep.
Which sometimes is the challenge of the
Yeah.
appointment anyway. So,
Yeah, I know.
So are you doing any sort of like mentoring or like, I don't want to say give back, but are you doing any sort of that sort of
So I would love to do that more
okay.
because that's what helped me so much. Like Bethany and Melissa just helped me so much. And I would love to give back. So sometimes just scrolling through Instagram, scrolling through Facebook, I'll see a post and, might be a new graduate that felt just like me, that was like, oh, this is not what I signed up for. This is terrible. I hate this. And I was like, yeah, I was there. So please feel free to reach out. But yeah, I would love to do that more. That is something I've been thinking about a lot because I love, I'm a big cheerleader. I like to just be on your team and like, like do anything that I can to help. So yeah.
Yeah. I think that is such a big topic. I mean, burnout, of course, is a topic that we talk about, but hygienists getting into the field and hating it. Or people that are just like, oh, I've got to get out of this. And it's like, we need healthcare providers. Like the demand doesn't go away just because we decide we don't like it.
Yeah.
What can we do to like help you like it? Do you just need a new office? Do you need a new tool, like a new fun thing? So I love just being in this space, being in this community, and just seeing all the different ways that hygienists are practicing, the different things they're doing, or different ways that they're trying to help those hygienists. I have absolutely enjoyed doing this podcast so much because of just the inspiration that comes in from having these conversations. I mean, hygienists that went back to school and are chiropractors and are just different things. It's like, what in the heck? So it's so cool. So I wish everybody would listen to our podcast so that we could help encourage you in your profession of just all the things that are going on. And even just the legislative changes so that hygienists can do Botox.
Yes.
Or other things.
Do it.
Yes. Because it's not just, personally, I have no desire to do Botox, but it is about being able to practice the full scope of your license. And not all states are created equal in their legislative process. So anyway, that was my side.
No, I love it.
Trail, don't know, but just being encouraged about what's going on in hygiene and not getting stuck in that day-to-day grind of like, going home another day with Profi paste all over my scrubs.
My back, neck, everything hurting.
Everything hurts. Like, we need you. We need you in the trenches. Everybody needs to be in the trenches. So what advice would you have for aspiring hygienists in the field? Like on that note of, hey, this is what's going on, like, what would you
It's
suggest?
so hard, but I think the biggest lesson that I've learned is to stick up for yourself. And if something isn't working for you and you've had conversations with doctor, whoever, office manager, whatever, you've had these conversations, you've told them what you need, what you want, and it's just not happening, then you got to find something else. That first office, not the temporary one that I worked at right after graduating, but that first office that I was at for a few years, like I said, it was a really nice, small, all the doctors were excellent. We all got along really well. It was a really nice office to be in. And like I said, things changed, and I would voice my opinion or voice what I needed and wanted. And it, just getting pushback. And I just probably stayed a little bit longer than I should have, because I didn't know. And that's just me personally. I mean, of course, there are people out there that are like, I want this. If I can't get it, then, bye. But that's never been me. I'm trying to be more like that.
It doesn't come naturally to me either.
Yeah, it's so hard.
It is hard.
The people pleasing is ingrained in my DNA, and probably a lot of people's DNA.
Yeah. Yes.
It's so difficult. But in the end, it kind of is about you. It is about the patients, but it is about you too. So, so many people are like, I'm not going to, if a patient can't bend all the way back or lay all the way back, I'm not going to, kill myself to do that. I'm the one that has to do this 8, 9 hours, 10 hours a day. I'm not going to kill myself. So you do have to, and like we talked about before, invest in yourself and think about yourself, think about what you need, because it all ties back to your physical health, your mental health, which is high up on my list of important, and it should be important for everybody. But I think that most of all took the biggest hit was my mental health, and just putting up with stuff that I didn't need to put up with.
Yeah.
So yeah.
This might be a little bit of a repeat question. But yeah, mental health is absolutely critical. Everybody. Yeah. So what piece of advice do you wish you could go back and give yourself as a new grad, going through all the experiences that you've gone through? One thing that you wish you could go back and talk to yourself about?
Just don't put up with being bossed around by people who have no right to boss you around.
Office managers. Just kidding.
Well,
doctor's wife. Yeah. The office manager. I'll say it.
Assistants. Yeah. So, and like I said, I would definitely tell myself that. But again, it's tough, because you learn, hindsight is 20/20. You learn by experience.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I say this all the time on the podcast. Like, if you are in a crappy job with a horrible office, there's always something to learn. Even if that lesson is, I shouldn't put up with this, or I should have left sooner. It was still a lesson. You're going to learn something. Yeah. So I don't think a job is ever a waste of time.
No. I agree. I totally.
But you have to see those lessons. If you don't learn from it, then it was a waste of time.
Right.
But
yeah, exactly.
To learn.
Yeah.
Exactly. So
yeah, I totally agree with that. Yeah.
All right. Last question. What took you years to learn as an RDH that you wish you would have learned in school?
Oh my gosh. Probably
We've really great answers on this one. So
yeah. Probably insurance stuff.
Oh, so true.
Even though I want to have nothing to do with it, That is not, I'm not saying, I don't think hygienists, I don't think that should, if we're practicing clinically, I don't think that should be a part of our job. It's knowing what goes on in the insurance world and how to not bypass it, but talk to our patients about it, and just to be able to recommend the right treatment for them and not base it off of insurance.
Yeah.
And I think more coding, stuff like that.
Definitely more coding. I agree with.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not, I don't think, of course, I think we all agree insurance should never dictate what we do.
Yeah, right.
Even though that's the number one thing that patients care about most of the time is, well, is my insurance going to cover this? Probably not, because they don't care if you lose your teeth. Nope. You're on the lose your teeth plan.
Yeah. Yeah. And things haven't changed since when?
1960 something.
Oh man, I thought it was, oh man.
Yeah, 60. So I'm 90% sure it's 60, but I made that statistic up. But I'm pretty sure it's the 60s.
Either way, it's a ridiculous amount of time. It's unbelievably ridiculous. I will never understand what's going on there. But
I feel like a for-profit, I mean, this is not a case for the government taking over insurance, because governments can't keep our roads straight. So I don't want them in our healthcare. Let's just be real. But I don't think a for-profit company should have anything to do with healthcare.
Right.
Like, it's a catch-22. Like, it still has to be a business.
Yeah.
But somebody should not make a profit off of your health.
Yeah. 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 And
that's not like a provider. Like,
right. Right. Exactly. Yeah. And it kind of gives providers an in to just do procedures that don't need to be done.
Yeah.
Which,
I worked in a Medicaid office. I've seen some horrible things. So,
gosh, I can't even imagine.
Yes.
Oof. Yeah.
Yay, amalgams.
Yay. Oh my goodness.
Yes, but I mean, so many topics we could go off on. Well, Melissa, thank you so much for spending your evening with me and sharing your story. And I look forward to seeing you at Under One Roof in Texas this next year, I guess.
I know. I can't wait. I'm so excited. All right. Thank you so much.
You are welcome. Okay. I was just ending.